Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk. My name is Brendan Smith with Batdorf and Brunson Coffee Roasters, coming to you live from our St. Petersburg Training Center. So glad that you joined us today for our talk about Clever Dripper. This is the Clever Dripper, an aptly named device which allows you to brew the coffee right inside of here, and then cleverly, it only drains when you put it on top of your mug. So the Clever Dripper is our subject today. Very excited that you're with us. We're going to be featuring one of our favorite coffees of this year, our Colombia Las Brisas. So if you haven't already, be sure to take advantage of that 10% off coupon that's right on your screen. Watch and Learn 10. For all of you who are watching our videos, we want to thank you and give something back to you. So this is our way of doing that. So please take full advantage of that. And if you've got a question, drop it in the comments. I've been exploring Clever Dripper technique now over the course of the last, I'd say a couple of months. And I've changed my way of brewing the coffee. So I want to talk to you about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it differently. If you've got questions or a way that you like to do Clever Dripper, let me know what it is, and I'd love to chat with you about it. All right? Cool. So let's take a look at our tools here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a Clever Dripper, which comes in this clever little box. You can pick this up on our website. You're also going to need a scale. I've got my Escali scale in orange, but it's available in white and black as well. You can get that on our website as well. And you're going to need some coffee. Today we're doing Las Brisas, and you can find that freshly roasted on our website. So we would love you to pick some up. So for Clever Dripper, this is what you call a full immersion brew method. So a full immersion brewer is similar to a French press, which, let's see, I've got one right here. This is our planetary design French press. We love this one, especially for those of you who love to do camping and outdoorsy stuff. It's thermal, so it keeps the coffee hot for hours and hours and hours, and it's got a patented brew stop technology that keeps it from over extracting. Great little French press. So a French press is a classic way to brew coffee. Lots of people love the French press. But for all of its benefits, one of the drawbacks of the French press can be that you get kind of a silty cup. It lets a lot of the oils through and a lot of the solids. For that reason, it's not my favorite brew method. The Clever Dripper is kind of a hybrid method. It has all the benefits of the French press, but but it uses a paper filter, so you end up with a cleaner cup. It's very easy, very simple, very straightforward, and it produces a really nice cup of coffee. It's also really convenient. You do all your brewing right inside here, and you can set this down anywhere. So I take this with me when I travel, because this will make enough coffee for me and for my wife. So I can set this up in the hotel room, brew the coffee right in here, and then when I'm ready to pour, all I have to do is place it on the mug, and let it drain. So it's really clever. You're also going to need some filters. We have these available as well. We'll put links to everything that we talk about today in the comment section. So I'm going to take my filter. I like to fold the bottom edge first, then fold the long edge like that. Got a handy little tab, and you just place this in the Clever Dripper. It should not be placed on the mug at this time, because being placed on the mug, there's a little inner section here that when it's depressed, it takes the stopper out and it allows the water to drip through. When it's sitting on the little feet, that stopper is not depressed, the water stays inside. Again, it's very clever, as Joshua pointed out. So the first thing we want to do is heat the water. So I'm going to go grab some hot water from over here, and I will be right back. Okay. All right. So we got our water. So let me flip this so you can see this a little bigger. So with all brew methods, preheating is key for a couple of reasons. One, if there's any residual paper dust, you rinse it away. I find with these white filters, that tends to be less of an issue. However, the bigger issue is we're preheating the vessel. And by preheating the vessel, we're preventing any heat loss during the brew. That can make a very big difference. Hey, Eric. Okay. Who has not made that mistake? All right, so we're preheating this, then to rinse it, all we have to do is put it in our mug. Side benefit, we're now preheating our mug. So everybody wins. Then you want to grab your coffee. I'm going to go dump my mug and grab my coffee. And we're using Las Brisas today. If you've got a Brisas grinder, you want to grind this somewhere on one of your coarser settings. I recommend somewhere around 28 on that grinder. But play with it. Get it to the place that you're really happy with it. Really, your happiness is what's important to me. Okay. So we've got our freshly ground coffee, our freshly rinsed mug. Yeah, if you don't have a grinder, this is a great one. Brisas Encore. You can pick this up on our website. I can tell you that it will last you for years and years and years. It's a great grinder. So I highly recommend it. So I'm going to start with 20 grams of coffee. I'm going to place it on my scale. Another thing that's nice about this Ascali scale is it fits this pretty perfectly. Okay, now I'm gonna add my coffee. And I'm gonna take my water and I'm gonna set a timer. And what I wanna do, I need that roving camera. I'm gonna start a timer and pour all of my water in at one time. So my scale is tared down to 0. I start pouring, I set my timer. So with a lot of other coffee methods, we do a bloom. Because this is a full immersion method, a bloom isn't necessary. And that's because the water and the coffee hang out for the entire brew cycle. It's not being poured through. So the water is going to have equal access. So I just poured over a little because I had my scale set to ounces. That's okay. So we pour our entire amount of coffee that we want in there at one time. We're going to place the lid on top. Make it where you can see that too. So I placed my lid on there. I'm going to wait until I get to 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, I have my handy dandy spoon ready, and we're going to stir the coffee at 2 minutes. Yes, Pam says it's a combination between a French press and a Chemex. Right, so it's got the full immersion benefits of pulling a lot of great stuff out of that coffee, being very, very easy, simple. There's no real pouring technique. In fact, I use a gooseneck kettle because it's what I have, but you can use a regular tea kettle with this, no problem. Does not matter. It's not picky because you're not trying to get a flow rate of water passing through coffee. You're adding the water to the coffee, and the two are just hanging out together. So it doesn't really matter. Okay? If it breaks, you have a standard pour-over brewer. Yeah, Eric says to use a gold filter if you want the extra mouthfeel. And that's because a paper filter is a finer filtration. Gold tone filters let more pass through into the cup. So if that's your bag, it's a good way to do it. It's really easy though, really simple. So we're at 2 minutes now. So what I'm gonna do, I'll switch the camera so you can see a little closer, is I'm just gonna give it a stir. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just breaking up that little crust that forms at the top and incorporating all the coffee. And I'm gonna close it up again. And now I'm gonna leave it for the rest of the brew time. So we're gonna brew all the way up to 4 minutes. And that's pretty much it. So 2 minutes, all the water goes in at once. We're gonna give it a stir halfway through, close it up, give it 2 more minutes. And I've experimented with a bunch of different recipes for Clever Drip, or a bunch of different techniques, and I found this one to be pretty effective. So 4 minutes in here is a little longer than some recipes call for, but I really like it. I think this is the right length of time. You're gonna have a little bit more time for the drawdown. And then after that, it'll be ready. So any questions, let us know. If you guys missed it today, we had a great program with Joshua and Bob, and we had a fantastic conversation with our farm down in Nicaragua, which was amazing, speaking to our coffee growers and finding out what's going on with them, finding out what's up and coming and new in the world of specialty coffee. It's been one of our long-term relationships with that wonderful group in Nicaragua, and we really appreciate them coming on today. So definitely go back and watch that when you get a chance. Okay, so we're at 4 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to place this on top of my cup, and I'm going to let that drain out. And that should take about a minute or so to drain out. And if you want to share your coffee with a friend, just grab another cup and you can share your coffee. Simple as that. Nice and easy. It takes about 60 seconds to drain out, so total time is about 5 minutes. It's sweet, it's delicious. Las Brisas is a great coffee. For me, this brew method, it's funny, Joshua, who's watching now, hey Joshua. Joshua always talks about the cocoa notes in this coffee. And I always thought he's lost his mind because the citrus is what comes out for me. I'm just kidding, he hasn't lost his mind. But tasting it in the Clever Dripper, I'm absolutely getting that cocoa right there, right at the front. Whereas when I make this coffee in a V60, I get maybe a bit more of that citrus up front. So each brew method presents a different profile. If you're somebody that has a couple of different brewers at home, I know some of you have Chemexes and AeroPresses, V60s and Clevers, experiment with it. Make the same coffee in every brewer you have. If you want a great Saturday project, that's a great one. Because I promise you, it will taste radically different and present differently, and different coffees for me present. I have a preference for one brew method or another. I'm going to take another sip. This is great. Yeah, it's lovely. Clever does a nice job of balancing it. It's just delicious. Really, really good. And then also included when you buy one, they send you a nice little coaster for you to set it on. So that's nice. Cheers. Don't forget, there's a great comment in there. Our Batdorf Boosters VIP Coffee Club on Facebook, if you join that group, we have a special discount, good for group members only, and it's the best discount we offer to the public. So join that group if you're interested in getting a really sweet deal. And then for those of you who watch our videos, please use our code WatchAndLearn10 to get 10% off your purchases every time. We really appreciate you. And welcome to the training center. I have a couch open for you, and I hope that one day soon you'll be able to join me and share a cup of coffee on it. We miss you guys. We love you guys. Tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. on the West Coast, 12 noon on the East Coast for more adventures in coffee. We'll see you then. Take care.